I'm doing it for my daughter.
The stock price and 10xing of money, and the thing we were talking about last week of like leaving when you have enough money and like worrying about, I can't exist if I'm not, or if I become irrelevant, I essentially don't exist.
Mm-hmm.
I've been like thinking about that and like stirring and stewing over that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, how bad are your investments? Where you could be like, I'm just fine. I'm just gonna go spend time with my friends and like eat clams and drive around the countryside and, you know, have a hobby and better myself and start reading books and start reading like novels and, you know, you can back dive into English lit and never come out of it and be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But instead they're like, no, progression 10x forward. Like I believe you when you say like, oh, they would die if that happened to them.
If you get lucky, it makes you think that you know how to run the world.
Run the world.
Mm-hmm. The
Like, you know,
have you ever
Beyonce?
I was listening to some I think the guy that created Netflix, and it was a video that was like 3 hours long. It was like how to do everything in startups and become the very best in the world and blah blah blah, and what the world needs. And it was like, if I had 3 hours to like fix all the world's problems, imagine the video I would make. Okay, but if I had 110 IQ and chip crumbs on my shirt, okay? The guy, I think it might have been Reed Hastings, but he was talking about his ideas, and it was, I think this was the guy. It was like shit. Listen. He was talking in this video, and he's like, so then we said, we looked at pet food. He's talking about a period in his life when he's totally broke. He has nothing. He's living in a garage. He has some piece of shit car, and there's no reason why this guy should be running the world. And he's talking about his ideas, and he's like, so we looked at pet food, and we thought, hey, what if pets want to get their food faster? We tried it. Didn't work. We started looking at hotels. I thought, what if the hotel was cleaner, better run, better managed? Couldn't do it. Couldn't figure out a way. It's not possible. So then we started looking at potato chips. And I said, what's the one thing about potato chips that makes it a bad experience? The grease. We tried 𝐂𝐻𝐸𝐬𝐻. They're cloth fingertip gloves you put on your fingers to prevent the potato chip grease from getting on your fingers. Never picked off. Wasn't the right time. Maybe one day we'll go back to 𝐂𝐻𝐸𝐬𝐻. So then we said, hey, let's take DVDs. Let's ship them in the mail. Bingo. We got a DVD, we put it in the mail, mailed it to myself. I got it 2 days later. I said, hey, this might be working. That's like,
when you get
now look, I have great respect for entrepreneurs, for brilliant minds. Okay. I don't take this stuff lightly, but if you get lucky and you get $100 million, the next shit that happens to you is probably pretty easy.
Wicked easy.
Okay.
You have 15 people downwind working through the night, auto machines.
Yeah.
It's like you hit, it's like, you know that thing where the ball goes in and then it unlocks the
it's
9
a pachinko machine.
It's a, that's how money works. That's how investing works. Like stop talking to me after 100 million. Like we're done. You're done. You know what I mean?
I've watched enough of these videos to know that some of these guys, it's just luck, and it's because, and to their credit, it's their persistence of like chugging through bad ideas.
Yeah,
they're like a lot of these guys are like bad idea machines. Like the stories they tell about before they came up with Airbnb, it's like shit that if you or I said to each other, like, I'd be, I think there's something wrong with Nick. Something's wrong with him.
He's trying to reinvent ketchup. He's trying to make ketchup out of fucking clothing.
He's talking about pre-staining clothing with ketchup, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yes,
that's the type of shit they talk about in their videos. To their credit, it's just like persistence is what gets this done, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it's good work ethic. You know,
A chip subscription service called Chipsy.
Chipsy.
That actually sounds pretty good.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
All right,
I'm gonna write that
saddlebags for Ubers. So
Saddlebag Harley Ubers.
Yeah, for Uber, like we put it over the trunk of an Uber and it delivers chips.
That's an Uber service where you only get picked up by Harley baggers.
It's like, maybe I want to show up. Like, yeah, sure, you can show up in a Suburban, but let's be honest. When you order Uber Black, you know what shows up. It's a Cadillac XTS car with fucking with a spare tire on it. Like it just happened in New York.
What if it was a lowrider with wire wheels?
Yeah, what if it was a bagger with a big speaker system and a black guy driving it?
Get this, a lift, but it's got 100-spoke Daytons on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, uh-huh.
And there's loud music playing inside.
And there's a Cholo.
But point being, the this idea that these guys should be running the world is, as evidenced by Elon's rant and this Sam Altman guy who's a scammer and a thief, is nonsense.
The fact that even people can even think about it or think like that, people should be shot. If I ever get to the point where I would think that I could take on more than making a couple of people laugh or something like that and making a buck or two from it, please absolutely hit me in the fucking shoulders with sledgehammers. I deserve it. But as far as like making the way investments in money works, like I've always said, once I get, well, it used to be like 600 grand, probably like $2-3 million bucks. You'll never see my name again. I will disappear so fucking fast. Bye. Bye.
Where's Nick?
Gone.
He's
auto death.
He's clamming.
Yeah, literally. I'm digging clams with my daughter in the middle of nowhere with a fucking. I'll get hair or something. I'll wear like ladies' wigs and I'll pretend like I'm a lady with cancer. Hi. I'll change my name to Debbie Messing or something like that.
In Maine.
Yeah. But the fact that they can't, like,
Yeah.
I just can't.
Yeah.
Just it's almost like and it's like it gets back to like the nerd who just has to shit. Like you couldn't just take second prize and just do the job and show up and just be 2 or be 4 or you had to try to go for 1 and you had to make bold statements and really shake it up and make proclamations that you are number 1. And it's like, fuck you, dude. You fucking
Silly Billy.
You know, it's a very guy thing to like. I don't ever see any women doing. I can't even like.
Yeah.
No woman would ever do that. To their credit, like honestly, to a woman's credit.
There are some, but they're not. They're outliers. They're not statistically.
Yeah, that's
right.
Anecdotal, but like fundamentally, I don't ever see a woman doing.
It is
that.
a male thing to think that you're smart enough to run the world.
Yeah, but like, to understand. 987 microcultures and shit like that. It's just subcultures. It's so fucking fuck you, dude. And if there's a room around people, that's why I like if you burn a city down, that's why it's a little horrifying. Like there's a little like, God, bunch of cringy
Silly Billy.
are lighting Los Angeles on fire.
Yeah.
Like that. That's
you mean someone like Vivek taking over governorship of Ohio, that type of thing?
Yeah, like and then allowing it because he thinks it'll give him like social rung. Like if I allow them to my people, I'll be invited to the Davos thing where I can talk about spacecraft. And like that's his motivation.
Yeah.
And it's like you're so short-sighted where you would sacrifice the better of the people you're supposed to protect. Which is why like whenever a government or someone turns or completely violates their own populace, like letting immigrants in and that and kill or burning down things or doing a 9/11 or fixing the NFL and destroying the integrity of our own things. It's like it should be seen as like ultimately parasitic, and those people should be.
You know who's a good example of that is that the Prime Minister of New Zealand. Is she still the Prime Minister of New Zealand? Can you look up current Prime Minister of New Zealand? Yeah, Jacinda Ardern. Go to YouTube and just get a video of her talking with the volume turned off. She's like an obvious drug addict.
Yeah, like a fucking pill freak that would do anything.
This is one of the rare.
You can riot my people.
one of the rare women. The women that do it, they mostly get into media, like newscasting type roles, I think. But this chick, you can see the political power and the attention acting on her like a drug.
Yep. Like Meghan Markle shit.
Like really anybody who's in power that people say is charismatic, like Justin Trudeau, when they talk, they're smiling like they're at a pageant or something, or like a school play.
That's number one is like be TV ready.
Yeah.
Before even understanding what you're saying. Like
They just want to be on TV. They just
so whenever I child.
look at her face.
Yeah.
She's just drinking in the attention. But political power is like a drug.
Well, Justin Trudeau, I mean, the honest resentment that I get from people, from our fans who watch our shit, like that are like, yo, what this guy did to our country is fucking incredible. And they're like so polite that they're not speaking in hyperbole. Is that probably the right word?
They're not bullshitting when they talk about how much they hate the guy.
They're straight at it. And they're like, this guy fucking ruined us in one shot. The Italians, I remember, was it Berlusconi? The Italians were like that back in the day, with that guy, the guy who got caught with like the orgies, like he was just a fucking demon. And they were like, this fucking guy's brutal. And I was in Amsterdam in 2008, and I remember an Italian guy. It sounded like the way the Canadians talk. It sounds like what the Italians said about I think it was Berlusconi, and that he was like, "You think George Bush is bad? This guy's fucking 15 times worse." And I remember that's what a guy said to me, and he was like rattling it off, like bang, ba bang, ba boom, and he's like, "He's ruining the church. He's ruining everything. The Italians, we're going to be decimated. Like we're never coming back from this. We're a fool. We're a nation of fools."
What do we have for links, Chris? Anything?
Nothing new.
What's trending on Twitter?
Let's see.
Oh, they started declassifying the Martin Luther King documents, and he's a piece of shit, I guess.
Like
they always said.
docs.
Was he doing P. Diddy shit or just like 60s orgy shit? What was he doing?
Oh, my ass.
This is not the link to be looking at. Whatever. Let's go fire up TikTok.
Okay.
What?
Right to the wall.